On November 10th, 1975, the Edmund Fitzgerald sank, taking its 29 crew members to the bottom of Lake Superior. For the 50th anniversary of that sinking, I decided to get off my ass, stop reading books about shipwrecks, and actually visit one. This is the first ever camping trip I've ever done, and the destination was Whitefish Point in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. Come with me on a journey that is far bigger than I ever expected to be. So I'm right here. The plan is to go all the way up to here by the end of today. I don't really know where my love for nautical history started. It probably was Pirates of the Caribbean, and it also was probably Assassin's Creed Black Flag. So it was the media that I grew up with that had a weird fascination for tall ships on the high seas. It's really funny that I live in Indiana, so close to the Great Lakes, which have their own rich history of shipwrecks that sometimes is even weirder than the stuff that happened in the Atlantic or the Pacific. And I've never been to any of it. Talking about shipwrecks can be kind of fun because it's recent history, but it is history. Like, one of the shipwrecks you read about in the museum is the ship called the Invincible, and it's like, never name a ship the Invincible or the Unsinkable Titanic. Like, you don't do that. The more you read about it, especially in Superior, they just had too many ships in the water. Too many ships during fog and bad weather. Most of the sinking was just one ship banging into the other. And there were ships that were notorious for doing so because they sank 3 other ships. Every single one of them is different. And every captain knows exactly when something went wrong. It's really powerful to see all of this history in one room and then end with the Edmund Fitzgerald because the victims of that wreck are still alive. That was a generation ago. Barely. It was 50 years ago. My parents were alive when that happened. I'm sure they heard about it when it happened. I only know about it because of the song, and it was pretty funny that the museum played that song over and over and over again. Sometimes they would do covers, and sometimes they're just like, we're gonna play the song. I had chills. I was getting like teary-eyed because you see all the names. Every name is there. Every accident, every wreck. You think, oh, well, they can learn from this. And then the next wreck happens and it's something completely different. It's not just Superior. There have been wrecks in every Great Lake because that shipping is so important that there are just so many ships up there, or there were. And all of this is happening like a 9-hour drive from where I live. Even up there, there's, you turn off the highway and there's a McDonald's and an Arby's and a giant gas station. It's like, yeah, I mean, we're in America. That's going to be everywhere. But the landscape does change from rocky cliffs to sandy dunes to then just flat emptiness. And that's where I live. So it was kind of a reality check that kind of feels like I live in a desert. There are beautiful parks in Indiana. Eagle Creek Reservoir is an amazing park I go to all the time. But the calmness of the Upper Peninsula, when Lake Superior is your white noise when you go to sleep, that's really special. I say that not in the winter time. The amount of jet ski crossing signs you see when you're driving on those more rural roads, and a lot of those guys that live up there have ORVs, off-road vehicles. There are roads up in the UP that have 2 lanes for cars, and then instead of shoulders, they have dirt paths for BMXs and ORVs. It is wild. It seems like a lot of fun. Would I go back? Absolutely, in a heartbeat. That was truly a special trip. I've been to several ships, but I've never really been to a place where the ships made history, and the history is still there, even when the ship's not. I finally got to do that. Thank you for coming along on this journey with me. I hope one day you get to enjoy these views with your own eyes, because as I discovered during the trip, sometimes the human eye is still a better camera than the shit in your pocket. You gotta see it for yourself.